Howdy, my name is Brock Peary, and this is my presentation on adaptive leadership. Adaptive leadership centers around the theory that the world is always changing, which means leadership needs to change with it. According to Helen Whale, adaptive leadership is the act of mobilizing a group of individuals to handle difficult challenges. And according to WGU, adaptive leadership is a practical approach to solving business issues, guiding leaders in identifying and focusing on the important aspects of a business operation and discarding what it can do without. So, when researching what adaptive leadership was, I chose these two um, quotes from different articles because I feel like uh, they're different, but they encapsulate adaptation to change, which is the overarching theme. One of the founders of adaptive leadership was Ronald Heifetz. He graduated from Columbia University, Harvard Medical School, and the Kennedy School. He initially was training in surgery before he pivoted and found his calling in studying leadership. He was an author and founded the Center for Public Leadership at Harvard Kennedy School and teaches there. And the other founder was Marty Linsky. He graduated from Williams College and Harvard as well. He was a part of Harvard's faculty for over 40 years, and also co-founded Cambridge Leadership Associates, a leadership consulting practice. And he ended up selling that. And he offered over a dozen books and chapters and was a writer for newspapers, including the Boston Globe. The adaptive leadership model has three parts to it. And the first one is precious versus expendable. It basically means you have to keep what is worth keeping and be fine with getting rid of what isn't uh, what isn't important. Um, and it can be tough for leaders to do that because uh, they'll have to get rid of some areas that at one point seemed precious to the company. The second part of the model is experimentation and smart risks. The leader is highly engaged with coworkers, encouraging new design and creativity that aligns with the goals of the company. Um, so the leader must know that there are going to be bumps along the road. Uh, Not everything is going to work, but that's all part of the growth within the company. So the leader is going to encourage its employees to experiment and come up with new ideas of how to change with the times. Um, and they got to be okay with failure because it's not always going to be perfect. But like I said, through that you grow and you get better as a company, and it's all part of the long-term plan. And from there, uh, you get the discipline assessment, which is basically just the implementation of the risks and the experimentation in the last step. And this part is just the leader implementing it into the organization in a healthy way. And they need to monitor these changes within the organization and continue to make changes when needed. So, for the application, many companies have had to adapt throughout change throughout the years. And on the other hand, change has crushed some organizations. And a perfect example of this is Netflix and Blockbuster. So Netflix started in 1997 as a video rental service by mail. They recognized the value of technology early on and use it to their advantage. So they started out with just DVD rentals and they had to pivot with the times changing and they created a streaming service, which now pretty much everyone uses, and they're worth over 100 billion. But that they had to adapt to change, and as you can see, Blockbuster did not do that. So they were also a video rental service, but instead of mail, they were a brick and mortar company. But with the introduction of technology into popular culture, they had to change, and unfortunately, Blockbuster didn't. They're down to one store. They went bankrupt in 2010, and they're a shell of their former self. They have never been able to get back to where they were because they didn't adapt to the times. So some strengths of adaptive leadership. It focuses on the company working together in inclusivity. An inclusive work environment can also allow individuals from all levels to contribute to their strengths and insights to solve a challenge, broadening the scope of possible solutions. Change is also seen as positive within the organization, encouraging the employees. And some criticisms of adaptive leadership are it's tough to get your company to adapt to change. Some people might be stuck in their ways. And adaptive leadership involves buy-in from all of the members of the organization. Some individuals within the company might be resistant to that change, and it's tough for leaders to overcome that. So, in an organization today, I played college baseball, played at Arizona State from 2021 to 2023, and I transferred to Texas A&M in 2024. I was able to see the difference between ASU and Texas A&M and their different strategies. And Texas A&M does it right. They have changed with the times, gotten used to the analytics, and they use a better strategy and funding. And you can see across the country the teams that adapt to this and get and adapt with the times are the ones that are continuing to be successful, and the ones that don't, like ASU, are struggling. And here are references. Thank you.